everyone. Thank you, the BSSCON team, president, secretary, and all the team members. I would like to start with our presentation on OARM navigation in spine surgery and our initial experience of around 910 screws. What has changed in our practice in recent time is this beautiful gadget which has come in India in recent time, and this is the OARM navigation, which is like a real-time 360 degrees imaging in operation theater for us. When we get a patient like this, 71 degrees kyphotic angle, 41 degrees the coronal cob, and hemivertebra with kyphoscoliosis, we always need to plan it well. This patient is with progressive deformity. The family is concerned and they want deformity correction. We need to do all the proper investigations in such cases as routine, all the x-rays, the parameters, the MRI, where we really can plan whether you need to do a shorter fusion or longer, because the patient should not decompensate after your primary surgery. And in this particular case, we plan for deformity correction and kyphoscoliosis correction along with hemivertebra excision. The big advantage of OARM is accurate placement of screws even in apical region, and the osteotomy, which we can really do it under navigation with the help of OARM. It really is a great tool for osteotomies, and we are understanding and maturing more and more as we do this kind of complex deformities with osteotomy. And this is the final outcome. You can actually see the amount of resection, the wedge. You can see the deformity correction, and this is the beauty of real time. And nearly a year's follow-up, this child is happy, taller, and our experience of more than 1.5 decade with standard freehand and CM guided open and MIS fixation surgery was good. But in recent 1.5 year, with the third generation OARM navigation fixation in spine surgery, the experience is great, and we are learning great with better outcomes in our own practice. That's what we have realized. The OARM navigation can be used in various pathologies, and all these important ones which are in our practice, like deformity, levision tumors, osteoporotic spine, cervical pedicle screws, thoracic and lumbar traumatic spine, MIS surgery, even cervical traumatic spine. And when we realize that deformity, most important is always whether I will be able to put my screw, whether there will be a pedicle morphology will be dystrophic or some problematic hypoplastic pedicle or altered pedicle body angle. All these things are there in our mind when we plan for a deformity correction. How will be the apical vertebra? How will be the rotations? But with this, we really can see it and plan well. This is a 15-year-old girl, cervicothoracic deformity, worsening cervicothoracic flexion deformity. Mother was really concerned. Family was concerned as she's a growing child. Around 52 degrees was the cob. We planned for a C7 to L1 deformity correction in this particular case. We did all the important imaging, and we really got very good screws in all the concavities in this cervicothoracic deformity. At time there can be challenging screws, as I was mentioning, the smaller or sclerotic pedicles, and we have to be careful when you use the instruments, and you have to be very, very cautious. But in OARM, you really can see through while putting this, and that's the big advantage. We got a curve to around 25 degrees. Second case of double major thoracolumbar curve. This girl is a 14-year-old girl with progressive deformity. 78 degree was thoracic cob, and lumbar was around 56. Significant deformity, and we planned for a deformity correction. Sometimes this deformities can be challenging, but if you see on table, on positioning, we were really concerned with this, but we got very good placement of the screws, strategic screws. We normally plan for around 70 to 80% of the screws in this kind of double major curves, and we really got a good deformity correction at the end of it. Osteotomies were done multi-level, and we got a excellent coronal and sagittal balance in this young girl. These are the things which are going to come, and I was just talking about the apical levels where we really can go very well at the end vertebrae, T2, everywhere we can really go through very smoothly. This is the biggest advantage of this. This is a type 3 quota bottom base screw pedicle. There is sclerosis. Starting. And this is a big advantage. You just see it and carefully advance your instruments. This is the big advantage of navigation. We can see. And again, you really can understand your deformity very well. And kyphosis, yes, there is a big advantage of O-arm navigation. You can do the osteotomy, you can plan the osteotomy, and that's the big advantage. This is a young gentleman, 25-year-old, worsening deformity, IT engineer. We did a kyphosis correction. Big advantage of O-arm navigation in osteoporotic revisions and tumor, apart from deformity. These are the 3-4 very important forts. And in such patients where there is severe osteoporosis, various medical comorbidities, high-grade listhesis, severe back pain, worsening by the day, and this lady is with double-level lysis, L3 and L4, and grade 2 to 3 listhesis. Initially, she was treated with medications, but then she worsened, and then she came to us on a wheelchair, as she was wheelchair-bound for 2 to 3 weeks. We planned for a decompression and stabilization of L3, 4, and 5. We planned for a delta fixation. The pelvic indices are here. Sacral slope was 47, tilt was 30. We did a transpedicular, transdiscal, transcorporeal fixation. We planned for a slightly inferior angulation of the screw at L4 because there was foramen of L4 which was coming in the way. Therefore, we didn't want to do this. We didn't want to go through the foramen. Therefore, we planned for slightly inferior. We got a very robust hold in the L4 body. This is a high-grade listhesis in a 77-year-old lady with severe leg pain, wheelchair bound. And if you see here, the margins are very well covered, and we could get a long length screw. This is 7.5 mm screw. And all the foramens are completely open. This patient is significantly better standing and walking now. And these are the challenges in high-grade listhesis with porosis. And this lady had double level fracture, the D11 and L5 was lytic listhesis, and it was worsening. We planned for a lumbosacral fixation at the same time. Even there was sitting pain, we planned for a fixation of the dorsal spine fracture. And she really did well. Around 8-9 months follow-up, she's doing excellent. Most of the things of daily living she's doing. She was unable to even get up and stand and walk for nearly 3 to 4 months. Revision spine, big advantage of O-arm navigation because you can plan your revision screw, you can plan your decompression, also the bony mass, the screws or implants inserted previously. We can actually have a better anatomical understanding on table, and this is a big advantage. This is a proximal junctional failure in a 67-year-old gentleman, badly painful, and he was crouched. We planned for advancement of fusion in this particular case. There was a deformity, degenerative scoliosis in this particular gentleman. We, with significant, the VAS was around 8, 9 on 10. We did around D10 to S1 revision. We got dual core screws, absolutely long length screws, and he's doing so fine so far. And tumors, we can exactly understand the lesion, how much you want to resect, whether you want to do spondylectomy, whether you want to do interlesional decompression, curettage, all these things really can be planned. These are revision adenocarcinoma and dorsal spine referred by a oncologist as the patient worsened in 15 days. He was doing fine after the primary surgery for around 3 years, walking independently, doing all the work, but he became paraplegic. There was a large extra dural and epidural soft tissue of the tumor, and there was a recurrence of the tumor which was compressing the cord. Otherwise, there was no other lesion as per the PET, and the oncologist felt we should immediately decompress this and stabilize, as he was with radio and chemotherapy, with bones were slightly weaker osteoporotic. We advanced the fixation and we did complete decompression of the cord, and this is all done under O-arm navigation. Porotic spine, big advantage. You don't want to breach a pedicle, you don't want to go at a higher levels, you don't want to pull out. The biggest advantage of O-arm navigation, you can go with the good trajectories, you can go with the longer length, you can really do the best of possible things in osteoporotic pedicle screw fixation with O-arm navigation. This is our recent paper published in Interdisciplinary Neurosurgery, which is talking about the precious pedicle in osteoporotic spine, accuracy of O-arm guidance in pedicle screw placement. And our study talks about 99.5% of accuracy in pedicle screw placement, as the angle of convergence, angle of inclination, and the length of the screw, everything can be dealt at one go. And these are such dynamic fractures. Some patients really are doing fine in bed, but the minute they get up, they can't stand and walk. Such kind of instability needs to be dealt with fixations, and O-arm really is of a great help. This is a 1-year-old follow-up of this lady. And fractures, thoracolumbar fractures, where we can have various different types. And in this particular case, there is a 3-column injury with low limb power 0. There is again associated with ribs where injured. We can really plan your fixation well, strategic, and really get out very fast. Big advantage in minimally invasive spine, you have to just do like a standard spine, but you really have a big advantage of O-arm navigation, as you are seeing in a GPS like technology on the navigation, and you're doing it. It's a big advantage. That's what I will definitely say. I must thank you all for patient hearing, and we need to accept the technology in future. Thank you all for patient hearing.